Ladies and gentlemen, let's game today video. We're going to be taking a look at Sniper Elite 3 for the PC. So this is a little bit behind schedule, to say the complete and utter least, but we're finally getting around to it. I'm also doing the graphics comparison that I've been promising you guys for a while. So I'm going to be starting from the beginning, just to give you my opinions on the PC version. I'm going to be taking a look at the graphical options first. Excuse me. So, I'm going to be playing at 1080p. And allow me to tell you one thing straight in advance. I'm incredibly actually impressed with the graphical options on this. So, we can play with super sampling, but I'm going to disable this. But what I will do actually is just show you it in the menu real quick. You can see what it does right away. It actually adds a lot of graphical quality. It basically sharpens things up. What this is pretty much doing, in a nutshell, is, well, downsampling the image. It's basically rendering the resolution of, well, rendering the game to higher resolution internally, and then pretty much downsampling it, meaning you get, well, nice quality. So I have been mentioning I've been doing graphical comparisons for the consoles. The PC version as well will be included, and the PC version does look significantly better than the consoles. It has a better frame rate as well, but I'll go more into that in that specific analysis. It's actually quite nice as well, because what you could go ahead and do, you could see that you can actually check out draw distance. So if you've ever wanted to play around and be like, what does, I don't know, ambient occlusion do? Well, check out the grass and the steering wheel and the shadow details. You can kind of see that right there. So it's quite nice. I'm not saying it's worth buying the game if that's the only reason you're interested, but hey, it's quite cool anyway. The shadows make quite a lot of difference. This is what I was saying about the lighting. So yeah. Anyway, I think that's enough of that. You can see the absolute immediate quality. That's like the you know, late 2000s, and this would be like your, oh, I don't know, like early 2000s 3D quality. Anyway, enough of that frivolity. So we're going to go back. I'm going to be starting the game from ye old beginning. Despite getting quite significantly further on the consoles, we're going to be basically just starting the game from scratch, doing a couple of campaign missions, and going from there, really. So, going to be starting things out with a new game. Not going to be continuing because it's evil. Yes, you go away, you. I'm going to be clicking on custom. I'm going to be choosing, I think, veteran. I'm going to be keeping that on realistic, actually. Tactical assistance will be full. Let's see. Yeah, that's all fine. Alright, let's continue. I'm going to skip over the cutscenes because, well, I'm not interested in that. The loading times are substantially, amazingly faster on PC. I don't exactly know what, because I haven't done the timings yet, but I will be doing that at some point. In other words, counting how long things take to load. And sweet Jesus, basically, the loading times in comparison. So, the frame rate on my rig, which is a 4770K, not overclocked. Sorry guys, just going to have to turn this down a little bit, because I'm probably going to find my ears are bleeding by the time I finish this. I don't really want to be suffering from tinnitus. Alright. Oh, balls. Go away with the tutorial. Right. I'm going to work on this guy. I feel that he's... let's say, I think his ankle, actually, could benefit from a bullet on it. Yeah, well, actually, it was more of his foot. So, what you'll notice is because we are actually using, well, realistic, you can see that secondary mark there. So if you basically shoot where that mark is rather than where the crosshair is. Now the reason behind that is pretty simple. Anyone who knows much about guns, and I certainly don't know that much, but it's basically to count for gravity and wind and that type of stuff. It's not too bad. Obviously this game's fairly violent, just so you probably knew that anyway, but hey, whatever. So one of the major issues that I had actually on the consoles is that the controls feel just a hair off, and for the most part I don't find that for the PC version. I actually found myself on the consoles, and this is actually not just me who really sucks. If you've been watching my Destiny beta, you know that for certain. I absolutely freaking suck with joypad on anything to do with Twitch-based reactions. I can't do it. I just haven't played the console versions are not in a long time, and so I really suffer from it now. But, yes, go away with the fudging... Oh, hang on. We want to shoot this in the gas tank. I think it's about there, actually. So, I have noticed a massive indicator... massive additional amount of accuracy. Not that that explosion is particularly accurate. I'm not particularly into, you know, engineering and explosions, but I don't feel that's exactly how a gas tank would erupt. Maybe I'm wrong there. So I'm just going to skip this stuff because, well, I don't feel it needs to be played. Yeah, just have a look at my dead compadres.
I have to do something about them.
So, in case you're wondering about the gameplay itself, for the most part, you can see that it's a pretty open mission, which does allow you to, for the most part, be fairly flexible in your approach. Now, that's not to say that you can, for example, go all the way over there and then start to wander over here. There are limits, but we'll explore those more in just a moment. So, I am, of course, using keyboard and mouse for this. I feel that the game does benefit from it. Frame rate, I find anyway, is absolutely ludicrous. Yes, well... Oops, no, we don't want to be doing that. Okay, so this gun actually kind of sucks, to be honest. The range is pretty shit, to say the least. Let's just search this dude. One slight concern, well not a concern, but one thing just for you to be aware of is you physically cannot pick up items without having to press the button if you're searching bodies, which is a bit of a pain, honestly. Yeah. Now this well rod, which is the weapon we're currently using, as I mentioned earlier, has a awful range, even if you're pretty accurate. If I was, for example, oh, I don't know, let's say here. Let's just say it's fairly questionable whether he'd die. It's also got a reload time between each shot, as you'll see in just a moment. You probably saw it earlier anyway. So that means that... Oh dear. That was actually pretty close. Yeah, you guys just be, you know, busy doing your thing. I'll just be murdering you all silently like an assassin. Hopefully he doesn't mind a bullet in him. I'm sure he appreciates it. Actually, there's a knife, but whatever. Hi. Ow, incidentally. So the reload times and the shooting times are pretty bad. I think you probably did notice the well rod, but I'll show you again. It automatically just reloads. There are additional loadouts available, as it turns out, but we don't have them available yet. So what we can do is actually go through here, which gives you different ways to get through. So for example, one of the objectives is this way, but you can also go this way. I just completely and utterly turned myself around there, which wasn't an ideal situation. So what we're going to be doing is being a little bit ninja-y. Fortunately, if they are not wearing helmets, you can take them out much simpler, as you would expect. Now, for the most part, it's pretty simple, the controls. You've got the regular 1-2 hotkeys, which of course switch your weapons. You can throw grenades via a simple button, and you walk up to enemies and stab them with E. It's not particularly complicated, convoluted stuff. Despite the fact that it is known as Sniper, you do need to be a little bit stealthy. It's not living life completely and utterly through the scope, 365 days. So, let's just skip that. Now this little fella, such as he is probably not going to notice us for the most part, so let's just be a little bit stealthy. Shoot him in the head, because to be honest with you, he needs it, and I'm going to throw a grenade over there. Uh-oh, that was... actually worked. I actually didn't think it genuinely did. Alright, let's just search these dudes, because we need the ammo. Ammo is actually fairly limited on this. You can see a rather gratuitous amount of blood there. Apparently, however, his head is quite literally is kind of disappearing into that. I've seen worse, not much worse, but I have seen worse. Alright, we have no goodies around here. Now what we can do actually is climb for a vantage point, and I genuinely don't remember how to climb a ladder. Oh, there we go, space. I'm guessing we don't have a... no, we don't, of course not. Alright. What we can probably do is not use that weapon. Balls. I'm sure at some point I'll get there. There we go. Okay, so what we don't have is a clear LOS for pretty much anything actually from here, which is less than optimal. Nope. He's basically forcing his heart rate to be slower. Alright. After having given in with the line of shot, let's just mosey on over. I think it was this one, yep. Alright. We are trying to be a little bit stealthy here because I don't want everyone and their mother to know where I am. I'm sure he... There we go. I think we can climb over. There we go. This is probably bad. Ow! Balls! Well, that sucked. That's what you get for blowing yourself up. To be fair, though, it wasn't too bad. The hell? How the hell was that even firing? Apparently it was a German ghost that managed to do that. Alright, let's climb up here anywho. We can have a little look around. Sweet. Ow, 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 quit it. We have a dude down there. Ow. Where would be my Healy item? Okay. Not exactly what I was hoping for. There we go. Alright. Should be able to ninja our way down now. Apparently we made more friends. Let's try and get around the side, I think. Anything in this tent? No. Okay. We shall venture forward. Hi. Gonna show you guys just a little bit of regular combat for a bit, rather than keep going sneaky. Dance, baby! That's pretty easy to be fair. I have to admit, whenever I see that I feel somewhat disappointed. I feel it should be a little bit of a larger explosion. It almost feels like they're just dropping a weight on them rather than an actual explosive, but whatever. Yeah, I could blow that up, but frankly can't be bothered, so up we go. Fortunately, he does have some upper body strength and can pull himself up, which is nice. Yeah, it's quite... It's actually quite nice lighting there, might I add. Yep, tanks for that. Sniper Elite 3, Africa. So that basically serves as pretty much like the tutorial, just giving you an example of pretty much what the controls are and so on, so it's not specifically difficult or particularly challenging. So what we're going to do is just click OK. Yeah, okay, whatever. We can go to the loadout, quickly look at that. That's strange. Alright, that's better. For some reason, difficulty settings reset. Alright, let's do that from here. So this mission is a little bit fun. It's actually pretty large. So despite the fact that there's not many missions in terms of the traditional sense, each of the missions is extremely lengthy in some cases because they keep adding the princess is in another castle philosophy. So what we're going to do is we're going to say hi-de-doody to this dude and then go from there. Okay, I'm going to say hi to his skull.
That's loud enough to cover my rifle fire.
Well, he's going to have a bad time of it when that starts sparking again, really, isn't he? Ah, thought I saw something there. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to crawl around. Now, technically I'm not supposed to do this, but I want to show you a little bit more action-y kind of area, rather than playing the game 100% how you like. There's a couple of reasons behind that. The first is because I realize some people just like to play like that. You know, they don't necessarily like to play 100% stealthy. Secondly, I just kind of want to shoot things in the face. Right. So what we have to do is we have to find a good location to do this from. Anything up there? No. Yes, we bloody know that. I think anyone who's ever played any game ever knows that at this point. Now this guy, you can see he kind of knows that there's something up. He doesn't exactly know there's something up, as in like he doesn't know where it is, but he knows that shit's going down. He just doesn't know where it's going down. So I'm going to inform him. There's a couple of ways that I want to inform him. The first is by shooting him repeatedly. The second is by hugging him with a knife in his throat until he dies. Aww. They make such a cute little couple, don't they? Alright. Let's just pick that up. An extra medipack has never been a bad thing in any game. I do somewhat wish that you could pretty much pick up items just by walking into them when it comes to bodies. Particularly his ammo is so sodding critical. And yet, you can't, which is, I wouldn't say bad, as in like, oh my god, this is the worst thing in the world, but it is slightly irritating. Having said that, Wolfenstein did very similar. Oh shit. That could have been significantly worse than what it ended up being. No, that's a bad Mr. Kitty. No looking at me. So you will notice there has been a couple of graphical artifacts flashing up on screen. Now you might be tempted to say that's VSync tear or whatever, but it's actually not. And if you have played the consoles, you'll know that it's actually pretty prevalent. It's sometimes texture loading. Is basically what it mostly is. Like we have like a lower quality texture being replaced by another one. And so sometimes the engine just doesn't quite do it quick enough, and so what happens is you effectively get to see the lower definition texture just for a second, and it can be kind of annoying. It can be quite jarring. It happens considerably more, however, on the consoles. The PC version doesn't really suffer from that as much, and that's not me being PC Master Race, that's just me being objective. So That's not to say the console versions look bad, but it's mostly an issue with the tearing on the consoles, which is present on both next generation systems. You see there's also a couple of issues there. You see that? Now, what I've noticed is that the PC version has some more trouble with shadows, like darker textures in particular. It seems to be a bit confused over often. It's like, I don't understand what's going on, help me, where's my medicine? Which is a little bit of a shame. Okay, there's no one down there. But you can see the particle effects look quite nice. What is that? I don't know what is that. That's what that is, bro. Oh, shit. Okay, I can hear loud explosions. Ow! 'Tis but a flesh wound, he says as his ball sack's hanging off. Good news, I've escaped. Bad news, I have pretty much everyone in the German army now alerted to my presence. Okay, so they're not in any of these tents. Can I cheat? Come on, come on then. Oh shit! I'm a shrine apparently. Good old random Hollywood quotes. I don't know much German. Truthfully, I was actually trying to learn it a couple of years back, probably about 3 years back for a little bit. There was no particular reason, before you ask, why I was trying to learn German. It was just like, oh, I wanted to learn a new language, why not German? And then, ow! Stop shooting me, you little... I don't feel that you're playing by the rules here. I'm allowed to shoot you repeatedly. It's part of the game's contract. Oh, I see. You are the problem. Okay, I am getting shot to absolute shit. Dance! Come on. Come on. Let me keep shooting you. Where the fuck did that guy just go? Now, I don't want to get shot with that high-powered rifle. Welcome to the Circus of Value. On sale is your skull. Now, speaking of skulls and explosions, one thing I will notice is that occasionally, as cool as the X-rays can look, they also can be get a little bit old after a while. Fortunately, you can skip them, but just by pressing a button or disabling them. Ow, incidentally. But what you're probably going to want to do is do that after a while. I'm just leaving them on for aesthetical reasons. Ow, balls, fuck, and whore. So anyway, guys, I think that's a reasonable place to get up to. It gives you a basic indication of what the game's like. So, obviously, it's I think it's a pretty good game, but it does have quite a few faults in my personal opinion. I feel that the difficulty settings are somewhat everywhere. I have noticed that the damage as well seems to be all over the shop. Sometimes, for example, you can get shot once or twice in the leg and you basically just have no damage at all. Other times you can be basically taken out for just a couple of shots. I wish that wasn't quite so wild in terms of damage variance, because it makes it very difficult to know just how much damage you can tank before you're basically going to fall over. Graphically, I think the console versions are definitely inferior to the PC, but the PC version does have a couple of issues. Gameplay-wise, they are both pretty good, but there is definitely a lot of controller latency on the consoles, which is not present, fortunately, on the PC. The PC version is quite a smooth and generally nice experience in terms of how it plays. So what I'd personally recommend is, if you're interested in picking up the title, and you were interested in the previous Sniper Elites, it's a good title. On the other hand, if you've not been particularly moved by the game before, then there's not going to be anything to really grab your attention in this one. That's not anything against the title, it's just kind of fact, and just how games work, unfortunately. But overall, a solid game, fun. There are glitches. But fortunately, none of them are exactly what I consider to be amazingly groundbreaking. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you soon. Take care, and bye for now.